Live from Stamford, this is Tefillah Tidbits. I'm standing on Summer Street right in front of Woodside Green. Many of you, anybody that's been around the last week or so, knows that there was a lot of police activity around here due to some events in Washington, D.C. Anybody that was trying to get home last week got stuck on Washington Boulevard because of the police activity, which was police, which was FBI, which was helicopters. Reminds me when I was in Dallas and I was in a car with people. I was the youngest person by at least 15 years in the car, and we were looking for Dealey Plaza where President Kennedy was shot. And all of a sudden everybody looked out there and they recognized it, and we couldn't figure out why there weren't any signs. And I think we realized there weren't any signs because they weren't really proud of it. And I'm sure that the city of Stamford is not particularly proud over tragic things that happened as a result of one of our citizens. There's a custody battle now going over the poor baby that was in that car. And it reminds me that in Jewish law, is there an acknowledgement of places where not great things happened? And in the Code of Jewish Law, the Laws of Brachos, chapter 224, Reish Chaf Daled, it tells us that if you see places that bad things happened, whether it's types of avodah zarah, types of idolatry, different things like that, there are certain blessings that are to be made. Why are we making blessings over bad places, over places of negativity? I understand where that great thing happened, we want to make a bracha, but why places of negativity? And I think the answer is that kishem shemevarchen al hatov kach mevarchen al hara, that we have to make a bracha over the bad as well as the good, because the word ultimately todah is modeh, which also means to acknowledge. It's an acknowledgement. It's not a thank you always. You don't thank God necessarily for bad things. You acknowledge. You acknowledge the source. You acknowledge the relationship. And the same way that we have to acknowledge and thank God in a time that it's wonderful, we have to thank God in a time that's difficult. In places where unfortunate things happened, we have to keep this in mind. I also want to add, in this same chapter, it says, Haroa shishim ribo miYisrael biyachad. If you see 600,000 Jews together, you say a blessing, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam chacham harazim. You make this blessing. The Jewish community lost a great leader this week, Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. According to estimates, somewhere between 700,000 and 800,000 Jews were at that funeral in Yerushalayim, certainly worthy of making this blessing. And let's not forget the little children and perhaps the wives that were not at the funeral. Think of the amount of people that showed up together for this great sage. Tehei Zichro Baruch, may his memory be a blessing. See you in Shul.